So, I don't know if you guys have seen these sort of like big funky chocolate bars all over the place. They're like super colorful branding and the fact that everyone is obsessed with them. And so we got very curious as to what is going on behind this very specific chocolate craze of Tony Chocolonely. So we did some digging into the chocolate market and we found some stuff that's pretty interesting. And the first thing we found is big chocolate. Now, I didn't know this, maybe you guys knew this, but 60% of the chocolate market is controlled by just a handful of people, players, corporate entities, big guys. Anyway, chocolate production itself is responsible for a lot of things we are not fans of, like deforestation and abusive labor practices. I'm not saying that the big chocolate conglomerates set out to do this intentionally. I'm not saying that at all. But it's really, really difficult for these big companies to know what goes on. To know what goes on? Yeah. Grammar. Anyway, but it's really difficult for these companies to know what goes on inside their massively complex supply chains. They have to get chocolate from one side of the globe to the other. They have to manage incredibly high volumes at very affordable prices, all to appease our sweet tooth. It's really hard to solve this problem. And the mushy bit in the middle is where we run into many of these ethical problems that no one seems to be talking about. Okay, Tony Chocolonely. What's the deal? It's not just about the chocolate. I mean, it is about the chocolate. It's all about the chocolate. All started in 2003, when a Dutch journalist read a book on illegal child labor and modern slavery in West Africa, all around cocoa production. And cocoa, of course, is the main ingredient for chocolate. So he set out to make the chocolate industry 100% exploitation-free. That's a very big goal. The core tenet here is this. Things are not being shared evenly across the chocolate supply chain. That may not sound very cool or very sexy, and you're totally right. It's boring. But it is critical for how we build the products and the foods that we want to eat and enjoy, while making sure no one is exploited in the process. So fast forward to today, where here this company is, Tony Chocolonely. It's everywhere. They've got flavors of crunchy things and hazelnuts and pretzel bits, and I don't know where the dark chocolate bar is, but there's a milk chocolate bar. I threw it off screen earlier. Anyway, the company's formula seems to be working. Even though it costs the company more to produce the chocolate that they do, due to their farmer premium, their business is booming. In 2022 alone, Tony Chocolonely has more than $120 million in sales. While our global supply chains have brought countless benefits to people all over the world, we have created a system that is extremely exploitative to workers and to our environment. And here's this company that's saying they're doing it really differently. How is this possible? We're going to dive in and see, is Tony Chocolonely as good as it claims? And if so, can it be replicated? Okay, I've stolen the chonker. Okay, so now that you're distracted by the cat, let's talk about supply chain. So, Tony Chocolonely. Ta-da! Are they actually as ethical and sustainable as they say they are? Let's find out. There are 5 core principles that Tony Chocolonely follows to make sure that their chocolate is 100% exploitation-free. First thing is what they call a bean tracker, meaning that Tony Chocolonely traces every single bean that they grow all the way through to this. Let's make sure that in the mushy-gushy center of the supply chain, where exploitation normally flourishes, that doesn't happen anymore and we have fairness and transparency. So, look into my eyes. This part's really important. Tony Chocolonely takes a profit cut. A tiny, tiny, tiny profit cut to make sure that they can pay their farmers a living wage. This is a core tenet of the company. It's completely non-negotiable. And this actually is what makes supply chains ethical and sustainable, is paying people a living wage. It really is that fundamental. And it's something that has not happened in the chocolate supply chain for a very long time. Why does it matter that Tony Chocolonely is taking a smaller profit? Because this is actually how you create sustainable supply chains, by redistributing resources more evenly. Now, if you don't believe me, that's fine, because Tony Chocolonely publishes this all in an annual report, where you can see pricing and how they spend their money and where it all goes. So another important thing to know about Tony Chocolonely is what they call their open chain. Now, this is their industry initiative to help other users of chocolate in that food space incorporate more sustainable and ethical supply chains into their companies. So, Tony Chocolonely has partnered with household beloved Ben & Jerry's to make sure that the chocolate that goes into those delicious desserts is also exploitation-free and sustainable. So all of this is about supply chain transparency. Think about the cat, think about how cute he is, now think about how supply chains are cute with giant yellow eyeballs. Okay, when we know what happens in a supply chain, this is the world we want to see. I mean, I don't want to be part of a world in which people are exploited and subject to modern slavery so I can eat chocolate. I really don't want that. From our research into Tony Chocolonley, I feel good about eating this. In fact, I'm going to eat it right now. I know it's not sexy, but our systems of production are broken. We saw this in COVID. We see this now. It's not just about delays in shipping time. It's actually about how human beings are treated and how our planet is treated. We want to see a better future, we have to build it. And it starts like this. So, we're going to wander around this house for a while and talk about supply chain. We dance. We've gone through a whole journey here. Now we need to find out what this tastes like. Because it would really suck if we've been through all that and this did not taste good. Let's find out. So the first thing I want to know is what is in this. Let's see. Maybe you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Ingredients. Sugar. Oh, come on. It's a dessert. Of course it's going to be sugar. Then we get dry whole milk. Okay. Then cocoa butter, cocoa mass, emulsifier, which is known as soy lectin. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. Hey, that's actually pretty good because I've looked at some of the packages of some of the other leading chocolate bars. There's a lot more ingredients in there, including palm oil, which is a really big problem. It's a different video. Okay, let's dig in. There's a note here. It says, psst, check out the inside of this wrapper. Let's do it. Ooh, there's something in here. Fun. Ah! Why is our bar unequally divided? Well, I'm going to guess it has to do with all the things we've just been talking about. So they say, to us it doesn't make sense for chocolate bars to be divided into chunks of equal sizes when there is so much inequality in the chocolate industry. So this is actually a representation of the chocolate industry in which things are not being evenly divided. That's kind of cute, actually. And I probably could have just showed this to you for 10 seconds, and this video would have been a lot simpler. Okay, whee! Let's do it. Et voila, look at that. Ooh, it smells really good. Oh, so for all the unevenly divided bits, it actually breaks pretty easily. Okay, let's find out. Yeah, it's really good. That's really good. It's very velvety. It's rich, not too sweet. So, yay! It wins! Let's move on to price, because we mentioned the premium that Tony Chocolonely pays their farmers, but the question is, can they actually compete in a grocery store? Rubber, meet road. If you can't deliver a quality product that competes on price, then it's just not going to work at scale. So we did a quick analysis of how Tony Chocolonely stacks up against other popular chocolate bars from the big chocolate. Quick search on our beloved friend Instacart. This is what we found. Tony Chocolonely is priced pretty competitively with other big chocolate brands that you would find in your local store. They are competing on price, and it's not full of all these junk ingredients. Just no. This is the key point. Tony Chocolonely makes a quality product at an attractive price point. So this whole sustainability and exploitation-free thing doesn't work if we're not talking about something the consumer can easily adopt into their lives. To summarize, we have actually really good, like sweet, satisfying, not too sweet chocolate that was not made by exploiting other people. It shouldn't be that complicated, but it was. Okay, so why are we doing this? Because we want to help people find the products that actually match their values. I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours trolling through the internet just to find a chocolate bar. Well, actually, that's exactly what we did for this video, but I don't want you to have to do that, because that sucks. And I actually like talking about supply chains because I'm a nerd. So, stick around. Find out what else we really want to see in our future.